Hello, I just want to welcome you to this short series on digital notebooks and journals, planners. I want to do several short videos in this group that explains different parts of how to work with a digital journal and some of the different programs you could possibly use. The first video, this one, is about really just how they work, and I'm not going to get into how to build them really, but because there are other how-to videos that you can go and learn that, just like I did. I watched YouTube videos, but I do want you to know kind of how they work, because that's going to then lead us into the next videos on how to import them in, how to start adding decorations, how to navigate through them. The first thing you should know is they are usually designed in a program like some people use Photoshop, some people use InDesign. I use Procreate, and so I design the setup like you would any kind of picture. And so I go through. We're going to use this one as our example for this video. So you'll see in the layers on this section I have different parts of it, and so this is the closed cover, this top one, and when I click that off, and so that takes away the cover. And then if you'll see, I'll scroll down here. I have the open cover, and let's see, open spread paper. So I was doing the dot grid paper for this one, and you'll be able to see that in action here in just a minute. But I created the, not that one. Let's see. Let's undo the. I created this shape and then put the texture on it and added the color. And so I made everything on this page except for this, the left piece of paper where it says paper. That is a PNG that I downloaded from a free scrapbooking site. And then the paper on the right that says cover, that is also a real piece of paper that someone took a picture of and uploaded it to that same site. I created the index page, the stickers page up there, and then the post-it note layout one up there. I created those myself. So when I do create journals or a planner, I try and create all of the elements myself, except if it's just a tiny little piece of paper or something like that. Sometimes a paper clip. I've also used that scrapbooking site for pieces of Realia or whatever like that, because I can't really draw a realistic looking paper clip. So anyway, all right, so after you get your design the way you want it in Procreate or Photoshop or whatever, including every single view you would want. So if you want to have dot grid spread, that would have to be you'd save this as a picture. If you wanted to have it to be, let's see, how do I get rid of my dots? See, I've got my grid. There's grid. Okay. You would then save the grid as a separate picture, because you're going to insert all of these different views into the next step, which is then you go into Keynote and you start let's go back. We'll just go to presentations here. And what you would do is you would do a plus sign for a new, just create new presentation, plain. I then delete these two pieces here. Oops, I accidentally copied. Delete and delete. All right, so then I have a blank page, and then you just insert. I always do blanks. As many slides as you're going to need. And then some to insert your pictures. And then if you need to make copies of those pages, you can do that after you get everything inserted. What you do want to do is you would go to Document Setup, and you would go to Slide Size, and this is where you would enter your custom size that matches the slide size you created in Procreate or whatever you used. That's something to really look up on if you want to, because you'll want to, you want to maybe fill the page on the note-taking app you'll be using. And if you make it too big, it does affect the pen size and how thick it will write. And I can show you an example of that later too, on another video. So for example, okay, so here is the one we're going to work with. And so you notice all I did was insert, this is just a picture from Procreate on top of a blank slide. And so this is the next one. And this is the next one. And so on and so on. And so those are all of these are all just pictures that are inserted. Now what you do after you've inserted your pictures, that's where you go and you insert a little shape, like a box, and then you add a link to it. So like these are all little boxes. You see the little box highlighted? And then on top of that box, you create a link. And then you just link to slides to where you can go then anywhere inside here. And so when you hit play on Keynote, here we are, play. If I wanted to go to the layouts, I would click my layouts, and so it takes me there. And so then I would slide over, and I have the choice of this, or a year, or a month, or another month, or weekly side by side if I want to just have a weekly section. So these are just to copy and use somewhere else in your planner. All right, so that's how it works. And so you can test your links inside Keynote using the play button before you export it, because that's what you do next. You then export as a PDF. So all of these linked notebooks and journals are PDFs with hyperlinks inside of them. I usually then import it into, or do a PDF, and then I take it into my note-taking app. A lot of times we'll also then save it into Dropbox so I have a backup copy. All right, so that's all done. It's been exported, it's now a PDF, and now we've taken it into our note-taking app. There are several note-taking apps that you can use. For instance, on the bottom, so we have GoodNotes, which is the white square with the blue lines. Next to it is ZoomNotes. Oops. Okay, sorry. ZoomNotes. The next is NoteShelf 2, and then next to that with the little pencil microphone looking thing is Notability. Those are 4 that I have. So I'm going to show you how they all look inside these 4 apps, that same notebook. So here's GoodNotes. This is the one that I use most. I feel like it has enough bells and whistles, and it is with the new GoodNotes 5, after it had a rough release, it really is very easy to use. So I really like it better than all of the others. So you'll see you have to make sure that you are in like read-only mode, because here I am right now with all of my choices at the top. If that is there, you can't use the hyperlinks. It will write on it instead, all right? Or insert a picture or whatever. In order to use hyperlinks, you would then click this pencil with the line through it. And now we are in the mode where all of our links will work. And you can just go from link to link. Okay, and so this is just a notebook with different sections. So you go to index, you notice these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 sections. And in each section then, you just slide over and I have 1 page there. Now it's meant for you to decide, okay, this first section is going to be maybe my food log. And so you would write food log, and then you would go next and you would start keeping your food log there. What you do is you just add or copy pages that you want, like if they have a template or something, and you would just slide those pages here. You click this button up here, that's the 4 squares, brings this little like thumbnail view, and you can click and drag and drop and rearrange. Or then you can go here and you can say select, and then you clicked, I would like, let's see, over in the templates here, I really like this one right here. You would click that, and then you would go copy, and it would allow you to copy it. And then once you are copied, you click done, close, go to wherever you want it copied. So this is the right after, here we go. I want it after this one, so I'm going to hit the plus sign, and you just go paste page. and here it is. And so that's how you insert those like layouts, and how you can just keep expanding a notebook that you have. If I just want another blank page right after this one, it's really easy, because you just hit plus sign and you see it says current page. You just hit current page as it does exactly what's already there. So very easy. And all of your links still work because it is copying what is already there. Okay. So that's GoodNotes, very easy. I'm going to get into using how to use GoodNotes, inserting pictures and things like that later. All right, so that's GoodNotes. I'll show you Notability next. So here's the journal. And so this one, same thing. You have to be on the touch. The little finger is there highlighted. As long as you're in text or the pen or something, it won't let you use your hyperlinks. So make sure you are on the finger. And so you go there. This one is, it's like layouts. Yes, this is the page I want it to go to. So you just have to click that extra page. Cover? Yes, go to page 1. There's the cover. Different paper types? Yes, let's go there. And so this one, you notice it scrolls up rather than sideways like GoodNotes did. So it's a little less like a book because it is scrolling vertically. Now you can do that in GoodNotes too, but I prefer to swipe to the side. All right, so that's how the navigation works in Notability. You can still insert. Let's go to index, and let's go to the first section here. You can insert an image just like you can in any of them. So and then you just resize, drag, and then there's your image. Now, of course, you always would like the transparent PNGs because you don't want anything, to cover up your text. That way you can write around it, or you can insert pictures over and not worry about that white background covering anything up. All right, so that's Notability. NoteShelf. So here's NoteShelf, and here's the top. Let's see. For some reason, it's not showing on my screen. At the top, there is this bar that says read only. So it's a pen with a line through it. So if that's clicked, you can use your hyperlinks just like anything else. In this one, you add a photo or image. And so you just insert just like everything else. Now, the one that's the most complicated is ZoomNotes. This is the most complicated, and this was one that would take a lot of practice for me to, I think, to be well versed enough to even talk about it. But I do want you to know that it is an option for you. It has way more options than GoodNotes does. You can like insert hyperlinks you can choose to take yourself out other places. There are many. You can deal with layers. It's got a lot of things you can do with it, and a lot of people like it. But still the same thing, you can use your hyperlinks work the same way. All right, so that's how they all work. As I said, I like GoodNotes. It's the least complicated, I think. Well, it's not the least complicated, but it is not so hard that it doesn't make it easy to start using. At the top, you see the different tabs. So like this, you can have several open at once. And so I have several that are open. And so anyway, and that comes in useful when you're using importing pictures from like a sticker book that you keep on GoodNotes, but we'll talk about that in another video as well. So that's how digital journals or notebooks are set up. Now, planners are the same thing. However, they have a lot of, let me show you an example. They have a lot of other tabs, links, a lot of links. So for instance, here is a planner. And this one is a new one I received from someone that has me help her show some of her stuff. It has on the left side every day, every month, but it is undated, so you can then add your own dates to it. But you can see it's got the monthly view, a weekly, a daily, but on top of that, it's got like financial things to keep track of. It's got productivity, meal planner, and it just can be as complicated as you want it to be. It just depends on how many links that you want. It has blank sections for you to create your own things, whatever you want to put. This one even is a combined thing. It has a faith section, so people do a lot of Bible journaling and things like this. And this one has all of these things on this index linked within this section. So there's 30 days of gratitude, and then 30 days of prayer. So it's just your reading log. And then she even has the books of the Bible linked out to like Bible.com. So, and this is like a little check off. You would check it off as you read it. And then here we go. So that's a planner. The planner has like the calendar built in and everything. So it can be much more complicated in terms of the different hyperlinks that you would build. The notebook is fairly simple because you can just do it as simple as this. Create the cover and then just have blank pages after that to where you just add them as you need them. And it's the same every time. You don't even have to have sections. But if you wanted to, you could do like a 5-section notebook and just create 5 hyperlinks to take you to those sections. And you could be done, like I have in this one. So this is my index, and so all this one has is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sections. And those take you to those sections. And I can just then add pages in between those as I need them. So just 6 links. And then, of course, the links back to the index. I also have stickers and another paper section. So 6, 7, 8, 9 links basically in this whole notebook, compared to the more complicated planner that can have one for every month on top of the other little sections you might want to keep track of. So notebooks are very easy.